Hello everybody, I'm back again. More Disco Elysium. I'm Shent. Hopefully, what did that? There we go. And it is the end of the fourth or fifth day now. You know what?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror.
Hand-eye coordination. Do I have anything for that? I'm gonna shave. Yes. Change of pace. Yeah. Oh, what would help if I actually used the... There we go. That's better. Any more hand-eye? I don't think I have anything else for it. Yeah, just that. But that might be enough.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Do it.
Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath.
Was shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Good.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Let it be for now. Sleep.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Go to sleep.
The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Gosh darn, I forgot my water again. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. Okay, I'm back. Got my water. Alright, what are they gonna say this time?
Like a deftly
Yep,
cast
there it is.
fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Dark Shore my ass. I know what this is.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Shut up. I just want to sleep.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Black water under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Your face forms in the cemetery.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
Doesn't sound like it will be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Open your eyes. You got this, Harry. Come on. Let's see if Kim's back. Oh, there he is.
Yes?
Kim, we need to talk about responsibility.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
Good, we're on the same page then.
If you ask me, it's high time for you to set aside these frivolous side tasks and focus 100% of your energies on the case before us.
No, I mean like the responsibility. You know, the kind that gets assigned.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stability? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
Spread your arms wide for this whole situation.
Ah, now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility?
How did you know?
Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion. Now, was there anything else?
So, I shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps,
What is it? You can tell me, Kim.
I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
Damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Alright, looks like he's just gonna forget it happened. I am both happy and sad about that, but okay.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
I'm gonna go check the traps. Besides that, I don't know what else to do now. I've looked at most everything. I'm gonna get rid of the C of contact Mike. That one needs to go. Oh, I need a skill point to forget. Good to know. Okay, then. Fine, whatever.
A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner, dead. No phasmid anywhere. The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You still can't see a phasmid anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know where to go or who to talk to right now. I learned a lot of stuff last time, but I don't know if it's, like, needed. An unsuccessful model.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
Yeah, I need to increase my interface into standard changes. The heck was that? Oh.
Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds.
Alright, let's get those shoes since I can buy it. Let's talk to Egg.
Good morning! Yeah!
Oh,
Hard car!
need interfacing as well for this. Okay. That's fine. Maybe I can call. Oh yeah, I need to call someone actually. The dispatch. Learn some things through that maybe.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid.
Darn it, phasmids!
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them.
These are good
They're the star of the show
Hand
here.
eye as well as reaction.
Super cool. Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
I need some speakers.
Well, if you want them, on the one hand, these speakers are socialist garbage. On the other hand, you did buy the sneakers. So I don't really need them anymore. Okay, officer, they're yours. For 50 cents.
I'll
The
take
junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
it. Yay! I got the sad garbage.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Everything's still cool here, officer.
Oh, I can sell these for 30? Why did you even buy those? There are no magic speakers. These are lame speakers. All they will ever produce is faint memory of the song you're trying to listen to. Sell them for cash. From 50 to 30, though. That kind of makes up for the sneakers a bit. What am I wearing now? The one for perception? I'm fine with what I've got now. My perception is down at the moment, but you know what? Hand eye and everything. What? Who the heck you guys?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
I
Who are
can tell
you?
you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
No, I really don't. I'm so glad you asked. No, I really don't.
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmatine, or
Yay!
the Besmati, the
Experience
Immortals,
and
are
money.
West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The
Thank you,
nastiest bunch of
Encyclopedia.
psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place here? Point towards the yard.
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling Rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
It's not. A man is dead and we need answers.
So what do you think we know?
Do you guys know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
I see you kids are into Ardonic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
Threat. Good. I like those.
But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking too. Stay light, man.
Yeah, didn't you cops, like, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you a part of the skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think that the organization would accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Enough about this scullery, then.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why does your jacket have written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
Yeah, what?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
Blow it up.
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Okay.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point.
Come on, Rhetoric. Come on.
Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Hey, Kim.
Yes?
What do you think about the jackets?
Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan.
Sure, the jackets are scaring you. That's cool. Why are you always so patronizing when cool possibilities cross our path?
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a or a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements.
That works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
Heroic exit attempts? Oh, are you talking about the car? You're probably talking about the police car. Yeah.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Oh, it's a red check. Ask for the jackets for yourself, Lieutenant!
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have nothing to work with here. It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask them, maybe.
Gentlemen, I need your jackets.
Why?
Look at the shit I'm wearing.
Yeah, like you said, total shit. What about it?
You didn't say that.
I'm wearing horrible clothes to catch horrible people. It's depressing. Leather would be such a cool look on me.
The lieutenant looks down at his bomber jacket and shrugs, obviously content with his uniform.
Fuck it. I don't deserve a cool jacket. I suck.
Fine.
What the
Fuck it. Here. Take it then. I can't handle this sad shit.
It's true. He simply can't. It's called empathy. Wow. I did not see that coming. You better wear that jacket with pride.
Fuck that! You're not getting mine. My dad's a lawyer in La Delta. He'll have your badge.
No, he won't.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
Fuck it. We don't need the other one. You said that you're more of a kind of guy, so I got the jacket for you.
I'm not wearing that jacket.
Why not? You can really raise hell. Go undercover. Hard.
I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all.
Still, it's good to know that we have it, should the need arise.
The need will not arise.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops? Let's get the fuck out of here before anyone sees us.
Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I just don't like confrontations, that's all.
Well, we got one jacket. Drama. No fucks given. That's -1 on 30. Wait, I'm a detective? See if we get anything.
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous?
Damn right I'm dangerous.
You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want the jacket on right now, though. Do I have anything for this? No. Do I have anything for the shirt? Probably. Let's do that. Nothing for that. Nothing new with that. How about logic? Oh, I never did try to wear that. Oh, no. I need a better shirt. We'll do the instrument for now. Okay,
Make way for the master poet.
that's enough for now. I'm not gonna eat the guy's
In the
thing.
morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage cannot but catch your eye.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed
Do
to...
something important? Something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the Lum's racing breed, Ferv series. With its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Canema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds, and go on to a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
Won't it roll over in the first sharp corner?
The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Canema effectively a mobile power plant.
This tech talk is really rubbing me the right way here.
Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
That machine really puts the loco back in locomotive. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
What's it packing there?
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
That's what? A 7-liter V12?
7.2. Supercharged.
A fine machine?
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down.
He was going to with the frickin' the wheels, or not the wheels, but the hubcaps that he had before.
Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Ever thought about switching to helium headlights?
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first.
If we ever get this case solved, maybe we could do it together? Become his only friend! Please, Kim, become his friend! He needs a friend.
Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
And means no.
Damn. Okay, let's move on.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
Pick up the
This
radio.
is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a
Connect
moment,
me to the
officer.
41st.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Nothing.
Roger that. 10-10.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Oh, connect me to the Jamrock Public Library.
I'm afraid they're closed.
Frick.
It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6.
We should try again.
Anything else, detective?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Yes. I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Shoot.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Cortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09.
Neonatal care unit?
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned
God.
farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminole conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Ravachol.
Wait, he was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any info on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Krenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
All we have is name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
New skill point. Alright.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
Please connect me to Sylvie again.
Just a second. Sylvie Malaikan. Yes. Hello?
Hey Sylvie, it's the police again.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Not that.
You hit
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
I'm done with the radio. We'll come back in
in
an
the
hour and a
cabin.
half.
You see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull.
Close the door. Yeah, interact
Large
with
letters
this
on
now
the front,
that,
text
Kim's
underneath
here.
the title, with fewer items is a blurb. Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities.
Not sure I can handle
Discover
all this
the terrible
responsibility.
manner. This is about having structured fun. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, unfold the illustrated game board, and start rolling dice. In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by
Yeah,
Iscalip. Don't forget heated arguments escalating to and beer. Lots of beer.
Well, that's a new one.
And most importantly, never forget to rage quit if the dice don't go your way.
Once again, bad drama.
You pry open the box. A quick guide. The options are in order. You stuff it back inside a colorful box.
Alright, nothing new with that. Let's
You
look at
hold in your
this.
hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. There's a bear involved.
Exactly what I need.
This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life.
On what?
The alphabet.
Flip through the page.
Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows.
Let's do this.
A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete. H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Eura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion.
Nod stoically.
Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y is for Ustava. Z is for zenith.
That's it?
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Okay, in what is called the IL, the international language developed by scientists from God in the 20s. Sinus means sign, for example. Kim, I know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
Good. Look at this.
Crinkle chip, you feel compelled. Can I use good drawn by regret? Stop before you carefully.
Okay. I think I've looked at everything, done everything. Let's get let's get some books or some such. I don't know.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
A few more questions about
Okay,
this.
but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
Never
The
mind.
woman looks aloof. Her features much.
Farewell for now, book peddler.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
I'll buy the suzerainty game.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks. This is entirely, completely you. You have found the right books.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
but-
certainly. Another good sale. It is a bestseller for a reason.
Could I talk to you or no?
Hi, Ace Detective.
Nope, it's
Are you
locked.
here for more
Okay.
books?
Suggestion. No same person ever put his head in such a machine. Put a lot to suggestion. Hoping more.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
I want to buy this Dick Mullen.
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Greatest
A
innocence.
true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst these three things are very important. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Well, so I can't buy anything there. Fine, whatever.
The maps look old and faded.
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Seem to underestimate my resources, but sure, okay.
Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
I already have it. Alright. Yeah, but books. I like books. Yay, books. I haven't read this, have I?
The face
oh,
of
no, I
King
have.
Fr-
Put it away.
The note is written.
Put it away.
An intricate web it almost looks like. The worn map feature. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read?
Alright. Board game.
In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work. The exact location and time period are left deliberately vague, but it's clearly meant to represent the economic relationship between the Revacholian suzerainty and its many vassals.
Shake the box.
The box has a nice heft to it. You hear the rattle of individual wooden tokens and feel their weight shifting back and forth. Even before you open it, you can tell that this will be a meaty game of grand strategy and complex player interactions.
Remove the plastic wrap.
The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a bodice in a tawdry historical romance.
Open the box.
There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Inside, you find a thick, full-color rulebook and more than a dozen pouches of various wooden components. Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard.
Read the rulebook.
Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel.
History seems problematic, but it is important to teach you basic economic concepts.
The colorful illustrations depict cheerful workers picking apricots, hauling marble sculptures out of crumbling temples, and harvesting a strange magenta-leafed plant. Everyone is smiling. You begin to suspect there may be a political agenda to this so-called family game. Only one way to find out.
Keep reading.
The instructions are opaque at first and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, there are many diagrams and examples throughout. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points.
How do you accumulate victory points? Bleh.
That's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners.
Read the advice.
Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it wholeheartedly. Boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old school atrocities.
Isn't there any way to invade or commit atrocities or something fun like that? Come on, game.
Suzerainty is a family game. The only atrocities you'll be committing are against the social standing of your rival administrators as you bring in ever more resources and power for the suzerain. Speaking of, the actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now.
Nah,
Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy.
Finally.
The colorful illustrations depict cheerful. You begin to suspect the instruction. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain
F
of
the
Revachol.
suzerain. What about
Your
my
objective
wealth and
is
renown?
there is no path to wealth and renown, but through the suzerain. As one of the suzerain's trusted administrators, your very function is the glorification of Revachol. That's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners.
Ignore it. Tell me how the winner is determined.
The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now.
Examine the components.
You open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards with other cardboard components that will need to be punched out before you can play.
Punch out the cardboard pieces one by one.
Each cardboard token makes a satisfying ch as you pop it out. Soon, a neat pile of cardboard coins and counters has accumulated before you.
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. Did he want to, or is that sarcasm? I don't know on that one. I don't know if he actually wanted to punch some out, since it's a satisfying. Kind of like, I imagine it's like popping like packing paper, the bubble wrap. I feel like that must be like that, and he's like, oh man, I kind of want to pop some bubble wrap. I'm sorry, Kim, if so. Check out the wooden tokens.
In addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player, there are also several piles of colorful resource tokens, each representing one of the game's 4 principal resources. From the Empire of Sephre, orange apricot tokens. From Ilmarat, the ancestral name of Ilmara, grey marble block tokens. From the Seminine Islands, white sacks of sugar tokens. And from Supramuindi and Sarah Maritza, magenta tokens for unprocessed cocaine leaves.
Oh, those are nice.
I think he's being
You
serious.
hold the open game box before you.
Hey, Kim, wanna play?
The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
Oh. Put the game away for now. We need
The wall map features
no,
the
not
patch.
that one. Put the map away.
The
So what we
suzerainty
need
box
is
is heavy and
suggestion.
slight.
Oh, we're doing this. I'll put into suggestion. I'll wear suggestion things. Wait, what's bringing it down? Oh, thought is bringing it down? Which thought is bringing it down? Oh, there it is. Wompty Dompty Dom Center. But it's giving my encyclopedia bonuses, like experience and real. That's worth the -2 to suggestion. Oof. Alright. Well, forget it for now. But I will be back to this. We did this one.
The cover
Reading
of this
books.
tattered paperback features the man from Yeomdar standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His two Zweihanders are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore.
Seems over the top.
Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title, Yeomdala Man, the man from Yeomdar, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair.
Of course.
Oh, this seems interesting.
Of course it does to you, electrochemistry.
Naked women and giant swords. Is that really the best they could come up with? Feels formulaic and derivative.
Seems about right for you two, conceptualization. Look at the back cover.
The back blurb reads, his latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Yeomdal saga. Meet man from Yeomdal, his faithful blood brother, Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet, for the Northlands, for Yeomdal. Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Yeomdal and the Necromancer's Treasure. Man from Yeomdal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Yeomdal, the Curse of Nacht-Hera.
Read the first couple pages.
The story opens in media res. The man from Yeomdal and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering whites, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses. By nightfall, only the man from Yeomdal and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. It is an honor to die by your side, brother, Tyribald cries, as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades.
Wow, they're in trouble now.
9, Tyribald. The man from Yeomdal bellows over the army of flesh and bone. Have courage, for the Northlands, for Yeomdal. He leaps to the mezzanine to face the black-eyed figure, and like a mad ice bear, whirling twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, he plows through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer. The writer has never held a sword in their life, let alone two two-handed swords at the same time. And with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors.
Skip ahead.
A few chapters later, the man from Yeomdal and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient moments. This book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting, though something tells you coherence was never the point. The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Yeomdal to rid his kingdom of the Nacht-Hera, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers. The man from Yeomdal extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge.
Hold on. Why is the man from Hamdall doing all this?
What do you mean?
Why is he doing all of this?
Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. Because, above all, he's driven to bring honor to the name of his beloved Hyundar. Because his noble Cutlan blood lusts for glory and conquest. It cannot be denied.
Is that all?
What do you mean, is that all?
Is there anything else to his character?
He is the man from Hyundar, forged in the fury of battle. Death was his sire, and blood his dam. He had but 14 winters when he left his frigid homelands in Katla to seek glory and honor. That is his character. He doesn't even have a real name. What is inside this man? Or is muscle and bone all he is? Hey, nothing wrong with muscle and bone. The point is, why should you care about this character? Does he have any inner conflicts? Unspoken motivation? A tragic flaw, perhaps?
Exactly. Where's the tension inside him?
He is the wildest man alive. The only mortal strong enough to wield the twin Zweihanders, Stern and Drang, whose names mean storm and...
Drain? No. Yes, I get that. He's strong and has big swords. But why should I care about his character?
What are you, a book critic?
I might be.
Enough. You're ruining the pacing of the story. Now where did you leave off? Ah yes. What pacing? You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey from Hrothgar's keep to the ancient forest of Yesdar, where our heroes infiltrate the Nachtherre's dire hall. In the center of the great hall stands a blood altar on which a pair of Nachtherre are disemboweling a shrieking peasant, an unholy rite that empowers the Nachtherre forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Nachtherre's attention to a pair of cloaked figures standing in the doorway. This is what you came for, isn't it? A climatic bloodletting where men are reduced to muscle and fury. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Hyundar and his valiant blood brother, Tyribald.
Well, yeah, who else would it be?
In an instant, the Nachtherre summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Some civilizations had enough of this.
When the din of battle settles, only the man from Hyundar and Tyribald remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nachtherre. The man from Hyundar's soda-like blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee.
You gotta be kidding me.
What?
This is almost exactly the same as the first scene. Even the word gibbering is used twice.
In the first scene, the man from Hyundar fought a powerful necromancer and his army of the dead. Now, he's confronting a pair of Nachtherre and their horde of orcanoid thralls. The two couldn't be further apart.
Okay, fine. What happens next?
An excellent question. One easily answered by purchasing the next thrilling chapter in the Hyundalaman saga, Hyundalaman at the Gates of Tomorrow. The last page of this one merely reads, "To be continued." Considering the sheer amount of different Hyundalaman books out there, it's very unlikely you're ever gonna find the sequel. The man from Hyundal stares at you on the cover, his face fixed in grim resolve.
Put the book away. Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged, A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Heimdall Man.
Look at the back cover.
The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Heimdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tyribald. Before Man from Heimdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Heimdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend?"
Flip through the book.
You open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. Good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written?
Hi, Rhetoric. What happened to conceptualization?
You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38.
Let's give this a chance.
Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Heimdall tribe. From the village of Heimdall, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name.
Give me more.
Man from Heimdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself?
Onward!
The steel muscles of Man from Heimdall gleam in the humid jungle air. Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home.
Holy shit, this is so me. Really get into the book.
A passage reads, "The man from Heimdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress. Son of Heimdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles. Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will. Brothers of Heimdall, stand above the vices of flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife." Queen Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says, "I have grand plans for you, Man from Heimdall." She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. "First, you shall please me. Then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of the Man from Heimdall. Yet inside, there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct. This is beyond primitive."
Hey, there's conceptualization. I kept hoping it would get better, but the writing is terrible and repetitive.
What do you even know about literature? Have you ever read a book in your life?
Hey, of course I have.
This is not just another book. It's Man from Heimdall, and it's done with you.
No,
You
I'm gonna
open
keep
his
reading.
good God. You flip to the copyright page. Berserker
Okay,
Raid,
give me
Man
more.
from Heimdall, the
Onward.
steel muscles of man from a passage. This is beyond primitive.
Wow, this is epic.
In the final pages, Man from Heimdall mounts Gallavarin, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyribald. To find out what happens next,
No
you have to pick up
experience?
Man from Heimdall and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere. Spring 39.
Book away. I didn't even get experience for that one. What the heck? Oh well. Man from Heimdall, Dick Mullen, and the Great Innocence. Let's get Dick Mullen in here.
In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. The brittle paperback feels fragile to the touch.
Examine the cover.
The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are two silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen. That seems to sum up the premise nicely.
Are you really reading that, detective?
I really need to know who this Dick Mullen guy is.
Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader.
The point is for the reader to feel like they're solving the crime along with Dick Mullen. A crude narrative convention, but no less effective for it.
Start reading.
The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the Elysium coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights.
Look, I can't judge.
2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vespa police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vespa police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence.
The cops released their prime murder suspect so we can find the real killer? Are you shitting me?
What's the matter, detective?
I don't know who writes this shit, but I get the feeling they aren't experts on homicide investigations.
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature.
Okay, so Mullen didn't do it.
Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana Deneva.
Nice, a dame.
And not just any dame. She's truly one in a million, a knockout whose mind is as dangerous as her curves. But she's got a secret.
Man, who doesn't?
Secrets are the currency of human relations. Your secrets are unknown even unto you. So does that make you a rich man or a beggar?
Now it's getting interesting.
Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead.
Tell me about the corrupt police captain.
Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. But he's also dirty and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder?
I want to hear about the politician's son.
A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height, and while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own.
What is that about an art collector?
Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug them 3 times in the chest the way Spillane got did. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Diana Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle?
Okay, let's get on with the story.
One evening, Diana Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon They're seeking comfort in each other's arms. Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's touch. The burning taste of liquor on her full, sweet lips.
Nice. Get it, Mullen.
As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Deanna Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you. The name of the true killer. Always aim for the center of mass." Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly.
Bah.
When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood.
Double fach.
Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body, if they haven't been tipped off already. The heat is on. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up to him, he's going away for life. Can you solve the case before the cops close in?
Wait, I've got some questions first.
What is it, Detective?
Why does everyone close to Dick Mullen end up dead?
It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close. What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night?
Why did Dick Mullen become a detective in the first place?
There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective.
Was I not born to be a detective?
For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor, and you feel the burn of rope against your hands. Are these figments of some other life? You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words.
Why bother solving crimes when the world is so evil?
Is it really so evil, Detective?
Okay, maybe not. There are parts worth saving.
Like what?
Friends and family.
Do you even have those?
I've got Kim. I might. I just need to find them.
Did you lose them? Or did they leave you? Do you even know the difference? But then, what does this book know? It's just a poorly made piece of pulp garbage made to be consumed and discarded. Is it like what? Do you even have those?
I have Kim.
Just make sure you don't lose him. You'll not find another like him. But then, what does this book know? It's just a poorly made piece of
I don't have
pulp
any more
garbage
questions. I
made
figured
so,
it out.
who did it, Detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve?
Love did them in.
What? That doesn't even make sense. There's never a straight answer with you, is there? You just get hooked on random stupid notions and then repeat them every chance you get.
Damn! Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. Calling us out.
Now go on. Find out who really did it.
Finish the book.
You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes, you find yourself completely engrossed. You're turning pages so fast, you don't even notice the ancient spine coming unglued. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone.
No!
Dozens of pages scatter across the ground. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long.
Stupid old horse glue.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass-market paperbacks. They are not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, huh, Detective?
Don't forget, it could have been the delirium tremens. In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and a mistaken identity.
Put the book away. Gosh darn it. Yeah, time's very much past. Let's talk to the library.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
This is Precinct 57. Hold on.
Jamrock Library.
I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
I'm looking for any information that you can provide on Billy Majan, a reader.
Billy Majan, you said.
Majan, yeah.
Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majan's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
Yeah, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Do you have any other information on Billy Majan?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majan? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police. She starts explaining something.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
So, Billy is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looks like?
Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you. That's all for me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of
Close. Do we talk about it? Oh no, we go to the apartment. Yeah. Let's go into the whirlwind real quick, just to look around. These guys.
Yes? What is it?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Goodbye.
The man ponders his cooking. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Run your fingers across the dust to the white Diora machine?
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's white Diora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
How about we fire one of these bad boys up and play some ball?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, kid.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't. It's strange that he doesn't like pinball. Kim here is a Seolite.
Oh, for frick's
His people are incredibly dexterous, and they all love pinball. Matter
Oh.
of fact.
Gosh darn it. Why do I do these things? Hey, didn't you guys, like, invent pinball?
Us? Guys?
Stop.
No matter. This is a failure. I'm failing, and I'm going to stop.
Okay. I don't like pinball because I had to learn to play it for an undercover job at a pinball ring. And it's a lame, boring, and unchallenging game. There. We can move on now.
Super. Tip top. This went pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, that's true. What about the other one? The Frankignish the ball. Want to play that?
No.
Let's move on then.
The machine is dead and silent. It needs serious maintenance before anyone can play again.
Damn. I messed it up. But now, with Kim here, we can look at the footprints.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer, this isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Okay, what does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Classia's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Get a closer look at them.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is. Of course. Damn.
The prints look like one person went back and forth.
Between that and that.
This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging, Kim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
It doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet.
Let's move on. Hi.
Officer,
Anything new?
it's a fine day for questions.
I can attempt the volition. It is a white check, so I can try it again. Well, let's put on some volition gear. If I have any. I might have some. Let's try volition. Do I have any other volition gear? Oh no, I only have the one. Well, maybe it'll be enough. My checks today have been not great.
Officer, it's a fine day for
42
questions.
Even.
Just like the last time. Light brown eyes look back at you.
Double ones,
All is
really?
as it was. You feel cigarette fume rise from her lips. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Miss Aranye Disco Dancer, you want to put your hand on her back and feel it up. strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than.
Alright, volition. I only have a single skill point. But let's do it. This is probably important. The bullet is...
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Just don't get in double ones. Come on, rolls. Work!
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you.
What?
You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, he's talking about you, you sinewy idiot. You too. Me? What have I done this time? These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Believe it.
Which ones actually are effective?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all of them. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here.
Yeah, I believe that.
No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you.
How did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
What can I do?
There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do.
Can't you turn them normal again?
No.
What use is this, then?
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
Does this mean she's been lying to me?
I think it's safe to assume, yes. Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like this, she is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct. And omissions too.
Can I trust that guy?
A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair.
Volition, you're the only one I can trust right now.
But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her.
Can I trust any of them ever again?
Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer here. A light green speck and imperfection on the outer rim of her right iris. It sparkles.
God damn it, perception. What is her plan?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate. Probably compromised.
I've been talking to myself long enough. Let's get back to it.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Say it out loud. Miss, are you manipulating me?
The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says, God, no. Alright, that's fine. Nothing to see here then. Oh gosh. Let's talk about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
Looks like nothing really more to add.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
Yes, miss. I hope you don't mind. All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Room again.
Yeah?
No.
All right.
Alright. That did not go how I thought it would. I am a little sad I put points into that now. I don't even know how to frickin' do this one. Take on the Sunday friend, the dead body on the boardwalk. Go to the apartment. The whole story from Titus. Oh yeah, tell me the whole story. I do need to find the murder weapon. Not gonna do that. Alright. Let's talk to the Hardys. See what we need from the Hardys to talk to them.
It's you again. What is it?
I need rhetoric. Alright. I can find rhetoric stuff. Rhetoric's not that hard. I'm a bit more than halfway for that, at least. Rhetoric. Any more rhetoric? Really? Okay. Anything that's taking away rhetoric. Not really. Okay.
It's you again. What is it?
It's a white check, so we can come back to it.
Convinced Titus is being manipulated? Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside, in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked and the benches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind.
That's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. Martinez, they just killed you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Oh, what was... Alright, rhetoric. What when Kevin said that you'd be a bad idea, bringing her up will do no good. You know by now. Titus will never falter. Just remember, it's about more than police. It's about these men, Martinez, their district, the responsibility. I think the killing will get them more than anything, because again, at that point it wouldn't be about their responsibility, it would just be them killing for killing's sake. They have to have a responsibility to it. Responsibility is their whole thing, because they like killing.
Yeah, we liked it. It was fun, wasn't it, guys? We had a great time.
It wasn't for your fucking entertainment, Dennis.
They kill you because they think it's funny.
They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him? For no effing reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Yes!
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
Is that a hint towards me?
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls?
Girls
Multiple?
plural?
Yeah.
There's another girl. 2 of them. Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The shoes in the back room. The peephole. Was it a peephole, or did they shoot through the wall into her room and he died that way somehow? But why would they do that? I don't know. Let's keep going.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. And there was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
Okay, so he was dead in a room. Bullet through the window. Did we kill him? I'm telling the truth right now. Did we kill him? Because can't we? Would we be able to get to her or see into her room through our balcony? Or get there from our balcony to her balcony? I don't know.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Short for Tiberius?
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's named Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
If Khaleesi didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the Moral Intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the 2 girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier, you said the girls asked for your help. Was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker, the missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know, it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy boys. And that's it.
You're gonna stonewall me if I ask more about her, aren't you?
Glad you understand that.
So who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clausia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
Sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
We did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Thanks for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer if we didn't take her away?
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
So she was manipulating me. Okay, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Through the window, down this way. The dice? In that corner area, the dice ladies area? Also, they wouldn't have heard a gunshot? I'm going back there again.
Yes?
Oh, not you, Kim. I'm sorry.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
Chill. I'm the cool cop, remember?
I'm sorry for wasting your time. I should have known that you'd find out.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
Damn it.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me out of the shit I'd gotten into.
It's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon.
What lies?
Golden grey in the moonlight.
I'm not. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that too, Hark. What lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Aranye, the old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Orionese lit. Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
You said you studied Orange's lit. What is with this fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Luskop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's Cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Papalolo?
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
I still wonder if it came, again, like from the outside through the window and into him, or if it came from that side room where that peephole was. Maybe it was a bullet hole, and no, it can't have been that because the bullet was lodged in his head, so it can't have exit the window, so never mind. That was just a peephole. Okay, fine. 'Tis cool. Moving on.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh.
That's a mother...
Yeah. It was a real motherfucker.
Yeah, that.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you look pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Shut up, electrochemistry.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby. Where's this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Did you kill Laylee?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs.
Shut up, electrochemistry.
Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you killed him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
She's getting scared now. Of you. The downstairs people. All of it.
Okay. I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss.
Like what?
Do the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Either way, something to consider.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, is that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth.
I don't think so. Why did you do it?
You have to understand, the people around here, No one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then?
When was the window changed?
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I think we're done here, for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
In God's name, wake up!
Who? What? Dear Lord, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not the most fair and just at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush.
Start at the top and choose at the bottom.
See?
God damn it. You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know the number, and that someone coughed, it means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
Your real name isn't Amando, is it?
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
I knew it.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She's not lying now. She really is very tired. Her metabolism is failing her. The afterglow of whatever narcotics she's been taking is wearing off.
Was the passport bullshit too? That passport you kept hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Maya Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
Where is this buoy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
Except
the lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
You're probably not even Miss Orange A37, are you?
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism. It also makes Klazia almost an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazia.
Wait. Klazia is an abbreviation of Katarzyna Alazia?
It was a sentimental thing. I want it to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Klazia?
Who gave it to you?
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago.
It's Grad.
My parents were Zemsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Alasia is my father's name.
Of course, she doesn't look like an Oranese woman at all. She's...
Should have guessed, you don't look Oranese.
I've always had that going for me. Oranese women do not win beauty pageants at 14.
I'll keep calling you what you want to be called now.
That's cool.
Enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Why have we not arrested... Devil weapon. I still don't want to do that. What the heck? Why have we not arrested her?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
Let's change the subject for the time
She
being.
slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Let's return to this later. Alright, look at the window.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
I actually want to look at like this. So he was on top of her. The bullet was lodged in his head. So he had to have been facing towards the window. Okay. Alright.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
What happened here?
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. Ending him.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figure.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what? 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belma-grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Exfoliate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Look at point B, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Point B, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
The islet.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime the boardwalk, B double prime Land's End, B triple prime the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than the roof, but still.
Okay, well, We should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Well, I don't know how to get to the islet. I don't think I've been to the islet. Is there a way to get to the islet? All I know how to get to is the boardwalk and Land's End. I don't know how to get to B Triple Prime. If I've been able to go to B Triple Prime, I've not been able to till now because I've not done something. I'm going to be a little annoyed.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Blink.
You clearly...
Jackpot.
Let's move on.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to her, now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pick Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Alright, I need logic. I need logic clothes. I have plenty of logic clothes, I think. No, that'll take it away. I need logic. Yes, check it. I don't understand why that gives me logic. I'll take that one instead. It gives me 2 logic. That's 1 logic. Alright.
It's you again. What is it?
Here's how Ruby could have done it.
A sudden
Oh
flash
my
of light
gosh.
in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the toilet.
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For 1 moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop. And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. Alright, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
There is a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
How?
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
You do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line in a Clausius window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance that the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science column. You're a madman.
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints. Recent.
Recent. Size 43.
43 is pretty large for a girl, don't you think? But then Ruby's what you call a butch girl. She's no daffodil.
Yeah, but that's what's so cool about her. It's why we've been thinking...
I know what you've been thinking, Glenn. We'll talk about it. Once the murder charges have been cleared.
Titus, you're not really saying...
He's thinking, all right. Glenn gets silence for an answer. Push forward with this theory.
Guess what? Remember the key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Cole. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
Now, the ribbon was old, faded. It'd have been there for 20 years at least.
She could have just put it back there once she was done.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it.
There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Nothing. I just thought we could bring some down, get some new machines in here.
Wow, man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that Royalist machine 20 times now.
All right, all right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else?
A skilled Sambo artist. No. Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
I have analyzed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
Just because it's rare doesn't mean you can't get it.
Carl, that's exactly what it means.
That wasn't strong.
There are weapons like this just lying around in Martinez.
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there, with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Leave the bookstore alone! They did fine!
It's a goddamn breech loader, too. Find one that works, and you got a military-grade weapon that shoots jacketed ammunition.
He sees it. This is coming together. He must. Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet.
This is the bullet that did it. 4.46 millimeter. Belle Margrave uses the same caliber.
The blonde man looks at the mushroomed deathbringer in the evidence bag and says,
"Grab it!" No.
Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4 millimeter too.
Whoa. Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
I'm trying to be. No, I'm not doing that. I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
All right. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Eugene, let's assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go... Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
This is not that good logic. We still don't know where the frick she is. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you won't. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
Frick. Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Do you know what she's doing with the ULAN frequency?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing ULAN frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
The gardener? But she went to tell Everett.
You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Everett anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Frick. Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure. There's some shit houses there. A cinder block town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Not much, but it'll do. Well, what was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me, as in the RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
She probably knew me from my singing days.
Yeah, that's real funny. She wasn't laughing, though. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up, like can.
Shit.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cock, Titus. This cock, he...
Scared. You should be, too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
It's not much, but it'll do. Go.
It'll have to.
Shake
His
it.
grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. You know I don't usually do this. I just measure things, but...
What? Well, you said it would be nice to have a list so that we could use ours.
Nah, we're good.
Why not? You could turn the thing into an actual police force. Afraid you would actually have to follow the law?
Rich boy law is a sham. It only works for the Wild Pines, lady. So keep your lab and watch your ass out there. The coast is a dangerous place for lawmen, especially Mr. Can Opener here.
Alright, okay. With that, we have many more leads. That opened
You
right
think you
the
have a
heck
pretty
up.
hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah.
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything struck you a bit off about this mishmash?
The footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the Odd Soul's prints on the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
Turns out the bullet was an antique.
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis and then hand-waved it.
The bullet was jacketed. These don't just lie around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue.
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
So far, no one's mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
Volition. What is this meaning? I'm done thinking about this.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
I'm gonna save it for now. And now I don't know what to think. I don't know where this is going. Still don't get this one. Abandon Mori with the physical instrument challenging. But yeah, we'll end it here for now. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you, Hark, for being in the chat with me today. But yeah, Ruby is a good lead to go through with. We do need to talk to her. Should I have arrested her, maybe? We'll see. We'll see. But yeah. Alright. I might be on later tonight with a multiplayer game with Hark and Rabbit. We'll see. Look forward to it, if possible. Maybe. I don't know. Don't get your hopes up, but maybe. But yeah. Alright. Bye.